Hi, welcome to another Power Blast podcast. Do you self-sabotage when it comes to your health and fitness goals? You know, where you start progressing on your fitness goal or even your weight loss goal, only to do something to derail yourself. In the end, it leaves you feeling frustrated and like you've failed yourself again. Well, in this episode, let's figure out some ways to stop self-sabotaging your fitness goals. Stay tuned. Hey there, my friend. Perry Tinsley here, creator of the Power Blast podcast, The Power of Possibility, Passion, and Purpose. Here you are. You're ready to kick it this time. You're ready to rock it. You get so far in your fitness journey, and then something happens. It's life, mindset, lazy habits, frustration. Maybe you're not feeling or seeing your results fast enough. So you self-sabotage again and again. I think that happens to a lot of us. Here's an example. You started exercising for several weeks. You've committed to your eating program, and you've just been working out so hard. And you might have even seen some movement on the scale or even fit in your clothing or how you feel. And you start justifying the pizza, the beer, the burger, and you're brainstorming. You're already brainstorming a plan to where you can have your cheat meal, so to speak, and you're going to do double workouts, or maybe you're going to do extra cardio to burn it off in the upcoming week. And after that cheat meal, you don't notice any real changes. It didn't negatively impact yourself on the scale, and gosh, you think you're off the hook. Perhaps you've built up that metabolism after all. So you let it slide a little bit, maybe have an extra cheat night or a cheat meal, or, sometimes it leads into a cheat week. And then you get frustrated with yourself. And you vow to totally restrict yourself on food for the next few weeks, maybe even the next week and a half. You're just going to I'm only going to do this little thing, and I'm going to reverse that trend. I let myself off the hook too quick. But the results, they don't bounce back. It takes a lot longer to come back than you expected. And because it doesn't come back, you get frustrated with yourself, and you just decide to give up because you don't think anything's working. And it just seems more harder than it was when you had some momentum going. And you just feel like you always seem to ruin your progress. You beat yourself up. You figure, what's the use? It's just easier to not put in the hard work and beat yourself up over all the time and feeling deprived of the fun things that you want to do in life. So you just get the idea of working out, and you just set that idea of working out for another time, when you'll be more focused, more committed, when everything in life is perfectly ready and in alignment for you to stay committed to that. And that cycle starts over again the next time. So, whether you can relate to some elements of that or not, many people set well-intentioned goals, but never quite make them a reality. They get so far and then let something happen, whether it can be a mindset thing, it could be anxiety and fears of not reaching your target weight fast enough or the results fast enough. And, as time goes on, we get a little older, and it becomes, things don't change as quickly as they once did. And we have that once did in the past mindset. Maybe it's just doubting yourself and creating excuses and the things that are giving you obstacles and barriers in your life. Now, some of them may be real incredible obstacles and barriers, and others may be stuff that you just kind of made up and you've put into place. But they really can be manipulated. You just choose to give them power. So luckily, by identifying the obstacles, the barriers, the excuses that you have, when you can identify those, you can create a plan of action so that you can quit. You can quiet the self-doubt in yourself and begin moving forward. So there's several other reasons that you might self-sabotage. It might not always be a mindset thing. You just maybe aren't making fitness a priority, or you're thinking that it's going to be too easy Perhaps you're not getting enough sleep. Sometimes you play the comparison game. Or maybe it's just you just don't have the support to stay accountable. Or another reality for people is fear of success, or that all or nothing mentality, trying to change everything way too fast as opposed to building successful habits, not staying committed, getting bored, not staying fueled properly, and eating things that tend to zap your energy, or even having life stresses zap your energy. So here's a simple exercise that I want you to do. A simple exercise to stop self-sabotaging. That's going to take some practice, and I encourage you to. No, I'm not even encouraging you. You need to write this down, because what I'm going to say to you, and I know you're listening or you're watching this on YouTube, you're going to let this spin around in your head, and you're going to try to sort it all out in your head and figure things out. But there's going to be other things that are going to distract you, and when you have it down, you can refer back to it. When you let it swim in your head, so many other things distract you that you'll forget most of it or part of it, or that you even did the exercise altogether. So let's think long-term goal here. Write this down. It's 1 year from now, and you just had the best year of your life with your health and fitness. Describe in detail what you're feeling. What are you thinking? What are you doing? What's life like now for you? How has life changed? What are you doing for exercise now? How has your body changed? What foods do you eat now? Now, I'm not going to give you the moment of time. You can pause this podcast, but get that down. And once you have that down, then you can reverse engineer your plan to get there and start doing the behaviors to get there with a monthly goal and daily actions to reach each monthly goal as time goes on. I've done this with many people to do this. We look at the 1 year vision, seems so far off, seems so abstract because you're not at that place. You're not doing behaviors of the person that was in that place, but we take that visualization and then we say, you know what? Now let's dial it back into what needs to happen daily, weekly, and monthly on a consistent basis over those 12 months to make that become reality. Because a lot of times, if you think of New Year's resolutions, a lot of times people think by the end of the year they're going to do this, but they really don't then have that visualization of what that is and what that looks like. A lot of times people will say, I'm going to lose 50 pounds, but they don't attach anything else. What are the behaviors? What are the actions? What's going on? How has life changed at that time? And what's it going to be like moving forward from that place? And then just looking back and say, okay, over the next 12 months, here are the benchmarks that I need to do to get there. So we do that in business. We do that in school. We do it with a lot of things. We need to do that with our fitness, and we don't. A lot of times we just leave it up to chance. Next step I want you to do is identify the obstacles and the excuses that you need to remove to get you through each day, each week, each month. Okay? So you're going to write these down. And don't just let them spin in your head again. Otherwise, you won't be able to take control of them. List every barrier to working out that you have, or every barrier to exercise that you can think of. Now, sometimes people will just put a list of 5, and you really need to challenge yourself on that. If you only have 5 things down of your barriers that are holding you back, well, if those are just only 5, then you should be able to take control of them. But chances are you have a page full of them. And be sure to include things like dining out with friends, kids' sporting events, your support at home. Maybe it's lack of time. Maybe it's temptations. Maybe it's the way you have your kitchen set up and triggers that you have where you're always buying junk food. Or maybe it's negative self-talk. Maybe it's your loud neighbors. Maybe it's your cravings for sugar, that you're too tired, or that you've got some limitations in your health. Maybe you're afraid of failing. All those things, get them down. And then once you have them down, go through the list and pick your top 3, 4, or 5. Don't overwhelm yourself. Just to start, maybe it's picking one. But pick the ones that you can have total control over, and you can eliminate them from your daily life moving forward. Okay? A lot of times people will say, I don't have time. But if they really dial it down, it's like, what are you spending your time on that you don't have time? Now, there's some people that have legit long jobs, that long hours, and need to sleep and other life things. And squeezing that in is a reality. But a lot of times we say we don't have time when really, we're doing some Netflix or we're doing some whatever. So it's figuring out what those things are that you actually have control over, and then it's taking action, consistent action, no matter what action on those. Okay? So here's some ideas for daily action items to make eating healthy and exercising those things that you just do. Okay? Especially if you're crazy busy. And if you can't be motivated, a lot of times people want to rely on motivation. If you can't be motivated, just be consistent. Okay? So one thing, start with healthy basic eating, whole foods over the processed stuff. Eating clean fruits, veggies, lean meats, skipping the packaged stuff. Stay away from the zigzag middle of the aisle stuff going, oh my gosh, the big game's on. I got to get chips this weekend. No, you really don't. You can figure out another thing, a healthy thing to munch on, especially if you've got that clear one-year vision. Look at the ingredients. Be a label reader. If you can't pronounce half the stuff, toss it out. Go through your fridge and your cupboards. Go and donate it. Get it out of your house. Eliminate the processed foods. Follow a more natural way of eating, okay? That's going to make you feel better. Another tip is to make meal prep a part of your weekly lifestyle. That helps with the time thing. A lot of times people are like, I've got all this food I got to make all week. Pick a couple hours on a Sunday. Batch process your food. Meal prep. Wash your fruits ahead of time. Hard boil eggs at the beginning of the week. Make things easy to grab and go and prepare. There's a lot of great tips out there, and if you just use Google, get out there. Okay, prepare spices ahead of time. Chop up things ahead of time. Freeze things. That's what I used to do. I used to make things all on a Sunday. Then I pop things in the freezer, and I have a couple things in the fridge, and bam, I could quickly grab and go, and I didn't have to spend that time trying to figure out when I was going to get done. If you go out to eat, take an active role in that. Don't just let it happen by chance. Go and find things that are going to meet your dietary needs. Check out the menus ahead of time. Look at the things, what can you substitute? Avoid the extra sauces and the extra things that are filled with sodium that are going to add things to your waistline. If you can, skip the restaurant stuff. Choose events and activities that don't revolve around food, especially when you're gathering with friends. Another tip when it comes to exercise is wake up 30 minutes earlier and stop hitting the snooze button and get your workout done right away in the morning, especially when you have a crazy busy schedule. I know what you're saying. You're probably going, gosh, I need my sleep. Well, I'm gonna help you get a little bit extra sleep there and get to go to bed a little bit earlier. But typically with crazy busy schedules, getting it done right away in the morning is about the only time that really fits people's pockets. Take or that pocket of time. This is you taking control for yourself. And here's a bonus tip. If you live in a place where it's crazy cold or heading into the colder season, set your thermostat to start heating the house up about 15 minutes before you wake up. Then it's not like, I got to stay in this cozy bed. Wear your fitness clothes to bed. That sort of thing. Another thing, here's your tip to give yourself a little extra time is to cut out the TV. Cut out one TV, Netflix, Hulu show, and go to bed 30 minutes earlier. As you unwind, keep the TV off, keep the social media off. Maybe listen to an uplifting podcast or an audiobook, or just read an uplifting book to inspire you. And plan your day with intention and follow that plan. When you plan the night before, you're setting the intention for the next day. You're getting the to-do list out of your head. Setting aside the workout clothes there. You're ready to hit the ground running when you get up. It's when you have a schedule, you'll get the most out of your time. Otherwise, your day's going to control you. I know that you like to think that, oh my gosh, I'll get it done after work. And then things start to derail you, and then you start to self-sabotage, okay? If you get it done first, you put yourself first, you're giving yourself a chance. And keep it simple. And stop overthinking and keep moving forward and consistent with each. A lot of times we spend so much time overthinking, am I choosing the right exercise? Am I choosing the right food? Am I doing all these things? And we'd like to overcomplicate it so it becomes just a chore. Keep it simple. The more you keep it simple, the more consistent you can be. Okay? And eliminate the mindset that this is just a temporary thing. This is a big thing for a lot of people that do the 21-day programs or the 30-day programs and 90-day programs. We aren't thinking of what's next. We're thinking of, I'm going to get this temporary thing. I'm going to try to get some results by the end of this thing, and then I can go back to my old ways. I'll lose a little bit of weight and I'll maintain. But it really means I go back to old habits and I don't maintain, I go backwards. That's what happens. We're not thinking about what's next. Make this your lifetime gig, your lifetime commitment, not just something that you're doing so you can feel good on vacation or looking great at a reunion. If you're using the 21 days, the 30 days, the 60 days, whatever program or plan that you're doing, by the halfway through, you should start thinking what's next to keep this momentum going forward and progressing forward so it can be for life. Next tip is to avoid complacency and justifying. This is when you get to the point where you think, where you start to let your guard down. And you start to think, I can justify this. I'll do doubles the next day, and I'll be okay. This cheat meal won't matter. And then you start to let a cheat meal turn into a cheat week, and you start to think there aren't going to be any consequences when there are. There will be. You've got to plan for that, and you've got to be okay with that when you start to justify, well, I worked hard today. I worked out hard this morning so I can have 3 candy bars this afternoon to pick me up with energy. That's the justifying stuff. You get complacent, you get lazy. Last one here is to think positively and have faith in yourself. Start trusting and believing and working. It's when you're taking this consistent action, it's going to build the confidence in yourself and your ability to accomplish your goals. Instead of doubting yourself, start mapping out your plan to succeed for life. Okay? Getting started is half the battle. Keeping it going and stopping the self-sabotage, that's the other part of it. So you can keep moving forward and not let your foot off the gas for at least any long period of time. I know sometimes we go on vacations, we do some things that, tend to not be full force, but we need to get back to it and stay consistent. It's continuous small steps each day towards reaching your goals that's going to have you blasting through the self-sabotaging behaviors. And it's going to become, when you start blasting through those and not getting to the point where you start questioning and going, oh my gosh, this is usually the time I've lost 20 pounds. It's usually the time I start to fall off track, and you start trying to convince yourself to fall off track. When you blast through that and you don't let that mind chatter happen, that becomes empowering to yourself. That becomes uplifting. Use affirmations, use visualization. As a matter of fact, if you need more focus and structure and support on your journey, and because you've been finding yourself struggling for a long time on that fitness roller coaster or start and stop all the time, and you always feel like those barriers and those obstacles are trying to sidetrack you, then sign up for my next 5-day free workshop. Seriously, give me 5 days and you're going to crack the code to burning the stubborn fat, to building the lean muscle, to having endless energy, no matter what eating plan or fitness plan that you choose. And what you get in this workshop is how to target the hidden mental and emotional barriers that have been holding you back. I kind of alluded to some of those today, but we really dig deep into that, and how to crush your top limiting belief so that you can stay focused and you can stay actually laser focused on your goals and take actions to achieve those immediately. And you'll follow my step-by-step framework to bust through your top barriers and have a solid game plan for achieving every one of your health and fitness goals, and stopping the guilt of avoiding your exercise goals, your memberships that you've signed up for, your fitness equipment that you bought and never used, the workshop or the workout DVDs that you have. Do you have any VHS tapes left? Do you have a VHS player? Most of you have, some of you have DVDs that you have but never use. You'll walk away with a game plan to finally start creating a healthy lifestyle for life of your dreams, even if you think you've tried everything. So if you're one of those people that you've always start and stop your exercise plan, you feel guilty, frustrated, and eventually ignore your fitness goals year after year, and you're bummed every time that you need to buy clothing, and you're mad because the results never come fast enough, you're just too tired and have no time, but you know you need to do something, then that's time to enroll in my 5-day free online workshop. It boils down to breaking through your monotonous routine and turning everything that you think you know about fitness, energy, and nutrition and weight loss and flip it completely upside down. The link to join that upcoming workshop is at upsidedownfit.com. Once again, that's upsidedownfit.com, and it's absolutely free. And I look forward to having you in there and to breaking through those beliefs and breaking through the barriers and creating a lifelong plan that you can follow. And here's another tool that may help you out, especially if you find life is a bit more chaotic and you're finding it challenging to put yourself first in the morning. Grab my Success Habits Master List. That's packed with routines, rituals, tips, and strategies to move you from feeling chaotic and overwhelmed to feeling grateful, happy, healthy, and fulfilled. Absolutely free. You can find that at morningsuccesshabits.com. That's all I have for this week. I hope these helped you. If you found value, please share it and pass it on to somebody that you know can benefit. I so appreciate you for tuning in. If you get over to YouTube, and you can hit, because I always put this on video, I'm waving at you if you see me on video here, please hit the subscribe button and the notification to get alerts to get those when they get published each time. And if you can get over to your podcast app and you listen to this in audio and give an honest rating and review, it just helps more people learn about this podcast and to benefit as well. You absolutely rock, my friend. I so appreciate you for tuning in, and as always, remember, it's never too late. We'll see you next week.